Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. Whether you're a hardcore gun nut, a serious collector, or just somebody who likes to stay in the loop on what's happening with firearm prices, today's video is going to hit you right in the feels. We're talking about something that's been blowing up all over the gun forums lately. The shocking way some of the most legendary and beloved guns on the planet have suddenly lost a huge chunk of their resale value between 2024 and 2025. Models that used to be the crown jewels of gun safes and the absolute go-to choices for shooters are now taking a serious beating on the used market. Flooded supply, shifting preferences, and a wave of newer technology have completely changed the game, and the numbers don't lie. In this episode, we're counting down 15 iconic firearms that dealers, trade-in counters, and private sales all agree have seen their values absolutely plummet. If you happen to own any of these, grab a drink and pay attention, because what you're about to hear might make your wallet cry. Let's jump right in. Kicking things off at number 1, we have the legendary Browning Citori, the over-under shotgun that clay shooters and bird hunters have worshipped for decades thanks to its incredible build quality, rock-solid reliability, and that classic look that never goes out of style. When it first came out back in the 1970s, a brand new Citori would set you back roughly $500 to $700, which adjusts to around $3,000 to $4,000 in current money. And that price made total sense for a premium gun with a beefy receiver and one of the crispest triggers in the business. Fast forward to 2020, and new ones were starting at about $3,000, while top-shelf models like the Citori 725 were easily clearing $5,000 or more. But here in 2025, the story is totally different. Brand new Citoris still stick around the $3,000 to $4,000 mark. Yet on the used market, they've crashed down to only $1,000 to $1,500. That's a brutal 30 to 40% loss in value. So what happened? Tough economic times have made people think twice before dropping big money on luxury shotguns. Semi-autos loaded with modern customization options have stolen the spotlight, and the pre-owned market is absolutely swimming in Citoris right now, forcing prices lower every month. On the bright side, this shotgun still delivers everything that made it famous. The brake action is tough as nails, has way fewer moving parts than a gas gun, and the balance is pure magic when you're swinging on doves, pheasants, or breaking clays all day. It can do skeet, sporting clays, or upland field with zero complaints. That said, it is on the heavier side, which can wear out newer shooters or smaller frame folks after a long day in the field, and it simply doesn't have the adjustability or modularity that today's semi-autos bring with things like adjustable stocks and softer recoil systems. Keeping it running is pretty straightforward, but you do need to stay on top of maintenance to keep that action slick and tight. Bottom line, as an investment piece, the Citori has taken a major hit. So these days, it's far better to love it for how amazingly it shoots rather than what you might get back if you sell it. In 2025, the Browning Citori is still one of the finest shotguns you can swing, but the market clearly shows a tighter economy and a whole lot of competition from newer, flashier, and far more customizable options. Let's jump into the Remington 870 Wingmaster, the pump-action shotgun that has been an absolute icon since the 1950s, adored by waterfowl hunters, upland bird chasers, and folks who keep one by the bedside because it just never quits no matter what you feed it, from heavy slugs to the lightest birdshot loads. When it first came out, a brand new Wingmaster would set you back somewhere between $100 and $150, which translates to roughly $1,000 to $1,500 in today's 2025 money. And that price made total sense when you felt that beautiful steel receiver and buttery smooth pump. By 2020, fresh ones out of the box were running $800 to $1,200, and clean used examples were still pulling a respectable $500 to $600 without much negotiation. Now here we are in 2025, and things have changed big time. Brand new Wingmasters still sticker between $900 and $1,300, but on the used market they've fallen hard, most moving between $300 and $400. That's easily a 40% haircut. The pre-owned pump shotgun world is absolutely drowning in inventory right now. Buyers are chasing semi-autos or do-it-all handguns loaded with accessory rails and adjustable everything. Wallets are tighter than ever, and shops are blowing them out just to free up shelf space. crushing resale prices across the board. Don't get me wrong, the 870's core strengths haven't gone anywhere. Dead simple mechanics that almost never jam, crazy versatility for everything from ducks over decoys to protecting the homestead. The weaknesses, though, are showing their age. There's no real modularity, no adjustable stocks, no quick swap barrels like the new kids on the block that younger shooters expect straight from the factory. Racking the pump is noticeably slower than a good semi-auto when you need lightning-fast follow-ups. Upkeep is a breeze when you stay on top of it. But let an older one sit neglected and the wear shows quick, and finding factory parts for the really vintage ones is getting tougher every year. Bottom line, in 2025, the Remington 870 Wingmaster is still one of the most trustworthy workhorses you can own, but its resale value is taking a beating from sleeker, more adaptable competition in this super price-sensitive environment. Let's roll right into the Remington 7600, a pump-action rifle that has been a deer camp staple since the 1980s, absolutely cherished for its pinpoint accuracy and lightning-quick handling in hard-hitting chamberings like .30-06 Springfield, .308 Winchester, and .243 Win. Back when it originally launched, a factory-fresh 7,600 stickered at about $350, roughly $900 adjusted to $2,025, a totally reasonable ask for that tank-like construction and glass-smooth cycling pump. Jump to right now in 2025, and the used market has gotten ugly. Clean 7,600s are trading hands for only $350 to $400, a brutal plunge from where they used to sit. The second-hand racks are overflowing. Today's hunters are grabbing modern semi-autos packed with recoil softening stocks, adjustable cheek risers, and all the latest bells and whistles. Economic reality has everyone hunting bargains, and dealers are slashing tags left and right just to move inventory, absolutely hammering resale numbers. On the bright side, the 7600 still brings serious strengths to the table. That proven pump design has way fewer moving parts than most autos, so it keeps running when the mercury drops or the mud flies. Perfect for fast follow-up shots on running whitetails or charging boars. That said, nobody's calling it cutting edge anymore. The pump feels old-school slow next to semi-autos that dump rounds downrange way faster. There's basically zero customization potential, no easy barrel swaps, no Picatinny rails ready for lights and optics like shooters demand today. Keeping it running is simple enough, but older rifles definitely show battle scars if they've been rode hard, and sourcing replacement parts for the classic models is becoming a real scavenger hunt. Here in 2025, the Remington 7600 is still a rock-solid, reliable hunting companion, but its market value is fighting an uphill battle against newer, high-tech, endlessly customizable rivals in a world where every dollar counts. Next up on our list is the Marlin 1895, a true icon for big game hunters everywhere, famous for slinging that devastating .45-70 government round with a lightning-fast lever-action cycle and rapid follow-up shots that no other platform can quite match. Back at its absolute peak, especially in the years right before Ruger took over Marlin, a clean used 1895 could easily pull $1,200 or better on the secondary market, and some of the pre-Ruger configurations or limited editions were bringing even crazier money from collectors. Fast forward to 2025, though, and the majority of used 1895s are now moving between $800 and $1,000, which translates to a solid 20 to 35% haircut from those glory days. A big part of the slide comes from the bumpy transition after Ruger bought the brand. Early production guns had some hit-or-miss quality issues that made a lot of buyers nervous. On top of that, the whole hunting world has been leaning hard into semi-autos and modern sporting rifles that come out of the box with bigger magazines, quicker second shots, and ready for optics, cans, and every accessory under the sun. The used market got absolutely flooded as owners started cashing out while prices were still decent, and that extra supply has pushed values even lower. That said, this rifle is still an absolute beast for taking down bear, elk, or deer in heavy cover where fast handling and raw stopping power matter most. It's dripping with classic American lever gun heritage that a lot of us just love. The flip side? Slow tube magazine reloads, low capacity compared to box mag rifles, and those big heavy cartridges definitely hurt. It's all-around versatility, and the days of it being a smart investment are pretty much gone. If you're a die-hard lever action guy, the 1895 is still worth every penny. But if you're buying strictly for resale down the road, the best money-making years are already behind us. Now let's talk about the Savage Axis, for years the king of budget-friendly bolt actions that gave new hunters and plinkers legit accuracy without breaking the bank, and it built a massive, loyal fan base by keeping things simple and effective. At its hottest point, especially when affordable accurate rifles were a little harder to come by, a brand new Axis was running around $500, and a nice used one could still grab $450 without even blinking. Come 2025, however, used Axis rifles are typically trading right in the $300 to $400 window, marking a pretty noticeable 20 to 40% drop from the top of the market. Don't get twisted, the rifle itself still shoots sub-MOA all day with the right load. The problem is pure competition. Ruger, Mossberg, Tikka, and others have flooded the entry-level space with guns that have silkier bolts, crisper triggers, way better stock fit, and threaded muzzles right from the factory, all at basically the same price the Axis asks. Next to those, the Axis feels pretty bare bones and doesn't offer much in the way of upgrades or aftermarket love. On the bright side, it's still super light, crazy accurate for the money, and perfect for someone just getting into hunting or needing a solid backup rifle that won't hurt the wallet. On the downside, the plain Jane design, almost zero aftermarket support, and the avalanche of competing models in the same price range mean it just doesn't hold value like it used to and is basically zero collector appeal. If you just need a dependable, no-frills deer rifle that gets the job done year after year, the Axis is still a winner, but if you're hoping it's going to go up in value anytime soon, that ship has sailed. Alright, let's switch gears and jump into handguns, starting with the Ruger P95, a late 1990s polymer powerhouse that earned a serious reputation for being tough as nails, stupid reliable, and priced so low that cops and everyday carriers snatched them up by the thousands. Back when polymer striker guns were still fresh and exciting, a new P95 was going for $450 to $500, and clean used ones weren't far behind at all. Roll the clock to 2025, and you'll see these same pistols changing hands for only $250 to $350. That's a hefty 30 to 50% slide from their best days. Make no mistake, the P95 didn't suddenly forget how to run. It still eats any ammo you feed it and shrugs off neglect better than most guns out there. But the entire handgun world has moved on. Modern buyers want interchangeable backstraps, built-in rails, optics-ready slides, all the stuff the P95 never got. Newer heavy hitters like the Glock 17 and SIG P320 bring better ergos, lighter trigger pulls, and an endless sea of aftermarket parts, making the old P95 feel downright old school. The good news? It's still one of the most bomb-proof, low-maintenance handguns you can own. It'll serve faithfully for decades. And at today's prices, it's an absolute steal for anyone who cares more about go than show. The bad news is the dated layout and zero upgrade path mean it's not picking up collector steam, and it's lost any real competitive edge. Bottom line, if you own one, you've still got a rock-solid Defender on your hip, but if you were counting on it as an investment, it's proof that even the toughest old war horses can get left behind when technology charges ahead. Next up is the Sig Sauer P250, which burst onto the scene back in 2007 with sky-high expectations and a killer feature: total modularity that lets shooters swap frames, slides, and even calibers to match whatever they needed. It looked unbeatable on spec sheets, promising crazy versatility that could basically kill the urge to stockpile a bunch of different pistols. And SIG's initial ads hyped it as a total game changer for everyone from casual plinkers to pros. During its strongest run, fresh P250s were pulling $550 or higher at retail, and it grabbed tons of buzz from everyday gun nuts, and even some police departments testing the waters on its big ideas. But man, the real world didn't quite live up to the buzz. That whole swap system thing turned out way too fiddly for a lot of folks, particularly newbies who just wanted something straightforward, and even though the idea was fresh, the parts didn't always play nice together like promised. Heading into 2025, You're looking at used P250s going for about $300 to $400 these days, which shakes out to a solid 30 to 45% dip from those primetime highs. The real nail in the coffin? SIG's own P320, which took the modularity blueprint and cranked it up with smoother handling, a design that's actually intuitive to use, and a huge aftermarket scene that keeps owners happy. On top of that, the pistol game as a whole has raced ahead to stuff like slides cut for red dots out of the box, fancier triggers that feel like butter, and even smart tech add-ons that the P250 could never touch. The silver lining here is that it's still a tank of a gun with spot-on accuracy that scratches the itch for gearheads who love messing around with setups. Plus, at these wallet-friendly numbers, it's a cheap way to dip your toe into the SIG family without regrets. The rough part? Being discontinued means hunting down spare bits is a pain, resales taking a nosedive, and it's straight up buried under sleeker, easier-to-love rivals. All told, the P250 was this bold swing at rethinking how pistols adapt. And yeah, it sparked some real talk in a modularity debate, even if it never grabbed the throne SIG dreamed of. Shifting over to the Glock 43, this bad boy dropped in 2015 and right away on the concealed carry crowd, turning into the must-have for anyone chasing that classic Glock toughness wrapped in a super slim profile that's a breeze to hide. Hitting its stride hard in those early post-launch days, when single-stack 9mm were flying off shelves, a brand new 43 was clocking near $500 easy, and even gently handled used ones could snag $450 from picky buyers. Jump ahead to 2025, and those used 43s are trading hands in the $350 to $400 ballpark, good for a 20 to 30% slide off its launch day muscle. Don't chalk it up to the 43 flopping on reliability, though it's every bit the bomb-proof, dead-accurate, zero-drama shooter it was from minute one. The issue is the carry world's gone full speed ahead. Even Glocks jumped the shark on it with the 43X and 48, packing extra rounds without bulking up the footprint, so you get way more punch in something just as sneaky to tote. Throw in how rivals are piling on with killer upgrades like built-in red dot cuts, cozier grips, and triggers that shave off ounces of pull, and suddenly the OG 43 starts coming off like yesterday's news. Where it wins big is that bulletproof history, dead simple controls anyone can run, and rock-steady results that scream everyday defense pick for purists who dig keeping things basic and brutal. The catch is? That puny mag size and zero prep for optics scream holdback in this whirlwind micro-pistol arena. If you're all about that unkillable dependability, it'll keep trucking like a champ, but if you're eyeing the cutting edge of what's hot in pocket rockets right now, the signs are clear, brother. Might want to scout for something fresher. And for you wheelgun lovers out there, the Heritage Rough Rider's been the perfect low-stakes intro forever, dishing out that pure Old West vibe on a dime budget that hooked rookies and weekend warriors from the jump. Right at its sweet spot, back when cowboy action comps were packing houses, a fresh Rough Rider was grabbing about $250, and barely touched used copies zipped out the door for nearly full pop. Fast forward to 2025, though, and the vibes flipped hard, with the bulk of these revolvers landing in the $150 to $200 zone based on wear and tear. That's a straight 20 to 40% tumble from the top shelf marks. Pinpointing the why is easy street. The cheapo revolver lanes jammed wall to wall, and that old-school cowboy shooting fevers simmered way down since 10 years back. At the same time, budget-friendly semi-autos have stormed in with bigger loads, lightning reloads, and all-purpose flex for everything from carry duty to backyard blasts, yanking the spotlight off single actions like the Rough Rider. The wins? It's dirt cheap to run with barely any kick, a total cinch to run even for total greens, so it's killer for schooling noobs or just goofing off at the pit. Super basic guts, pennies per shot point, 2.2 LR fuel, and that warm, fuzzy retro charm semis can't fake a bit of. The drags include the glacial load-in dump routine, zilch for real-world stopping power, and fading hype from collectors that spells no gains and shaky holds long-term. If you're snagging it just to grin and shoot, it's money well spent every time. But if your eye's on flipping for profit someday, the math's yelling loud and clear to pump the brakes. Let's jump into the Smith & Wesson MMP Shield, a pistol that rolled out back in 2006 and instantly turned into one of the absolute darlings of the concealed carry crowd, winning hearts with its rock-solid reliability, super easy handling, and a grip and recoil combo that felt welcoming whether you were a brand new shooter or a grizzled veteran packing daily. When it was riding the highest, especially in those first couple years after launch, a brand new shield could easily sticker right around $500, and clean used ones with barely any holster were still pulling $450 or better without breaking a sweat. Now here we are in 2025, and the picture looks a whole lot different. Most used shields you see listed are trading between $300 and $350, with some of the older or slightly beat-up examples slipping down to $280 if they have a few honest scratches or marks, which adds up to a pretty painful 30 to 40% haircut off its all-time peak resale value. Don't get it twisted, though. The drop has nothing to do with the gun suddenly becoming junk. It's still every bit as accurate, dependable, and simple to keep running as it ever was. But the concealed carry world has moved the goalposts hard. Guns like the Sig Sauer P365 showed up packing way more rounds in basically the same size envelope and rewrote what people expect, while the Glock 43X and others rolled in with better grips, factory optic cuts, and accessory rails right out of the box. All of a sudden, the original shield's single stack capacity and no red dot ready slide started feeling like missing features instead of smart simplicity. That said, if you love a proven fighter that's soft shooting, dead nuts reliable, and doesn't need a bunch of gadgets to get the job done, the Shield is still an awesome everyday carry choice for folks who just want something that works every single time. Next up, let's talk about the Ruger AR-556, the budget-friendly AR-15 that stormed onto the scene in 2015 and instantly became the rifle everybody recommended for new shooters, home defense setups, hunters on a budget, or anyone who just wanted a tough, American-made black rifle that wouldn't break the bank, all while happily eating 5.56 NATO or .223 Remington all day long. Back around 2020, when it was at its absolute hottest, a brand new AR-556 was routinely bringing $900, a fair chunk of change, but totally justified by Ruger's bulletproof reputation. Jump to 2025, and things have cooled off big time. Used examples are now changing hands in that $500 to $600 window, meaning owners are looking at roughly a 33 to 44% drop from the glory days. Why the slide? Simple, the entire AR market is absolutely drowning in choices right now. And the latest crop comes straight from the factory with free-flow handguards, low-profile gas blocks, better triggers, optics-ready uppers, and lighter weight. All the stuff the tactical crowd is drooling over. Throw in a little economic hesitation and tighter rules in certain states, and demand has softened enough that the used racks are overflowing and prices have taken a nosedive. On the bright side, the AR-556 is still a total tank, ridiculously easy to clean and maintain, runs like a sewing machine even when it's filthy, and will handle anything from coyotes to home defense to a fun weekend blasting steel. It's an awesome starter rifle or budget beater. Where it hurts is that it's missing all the modern goodies the cool kids want. The standard handguard and fixed front sight tower look old school next to the new hotness, and swapping stuff like the trigger or stock isn't always plug and play. Bottom line, in 2025, the Ruger AR-556 is still one of the most solid, affordable rifles you can own, but when it comes to holding value in a market obsessed with the latest and greatest upgrades, it's definitely feeling the pressure from flashier competition. Now let's roll into the Taurus Judge, the revolver that showed up in 2006 and turned heads with its wild trick of being able to feed both .45 Colt cowboy loads and .410 bore shot shells in the same cylinder, giving owners the ability to flip between classic revolver rounds and mini shotgun blasts whenever they felt like it. That crazy versatility, combined with a super tough build and dead simple revolver controls, made a hit for folks looking for one gun that could do home defense, snake protection on the trail, or just be a total blast to shoot cans with at the range. At its absolute peak, the Judge was bringing around $600 brand new, and nice used ones in great shape could still pull $500 or better all day long. Fast forward to 2025, and the story has changed pretty dramatically. Most used Judges out there are moving between $300 and $400, which translates to a rough 35 to 50% plunge from the top. A big part of that comes down to real-world performance. The .410 shell is fun and novel, but the pattern spreads too fast and hits too light for serious defense work. While the .45 Colt can be plenty powerful, but accuracy tends to open up quick past bad breath distances, exactly the opposite of what most people want in a judge-type scenario. Then you've got the revolver itself, big, heavy, and chunky compared to today's featherweight polymer wonders. So it starts feeling more like a quirky one-trick pony than a do-it-all piece. Meanwhile, the whole handgun world has sprinted towards small, high-capacity semi-autos like the Glock 19 and SIG P320 that give you smoother shooting, way more rounds, and endless aftermarket support. The used judge market is completely saturated right now, pushing prices even lower. On the positive side, it's still a mechanically simple, tough-as-nails wheel gun with a personality you just don't get anywhere else. And if you love that mix of cowboy and shotgun vibes, it's an absolute ride to own. The flip side is that practical use and resale value have both taken a serious hit in a market that's all about speed, capacity, and modern features these days. Let's talk about the Colt King Cobra, a revolver that rolled out back in 1986 and immediately set the bar for what a premium .357 Magnum should be. People still swear by its incredible fit and finish, the pinpoint accuracy, and a frame so tough it laughs at thousands of full-house Magnum rounds without ever losing its timing. That buttery trigger and bomb-proof cylinder lockup turned it into a darling for competitive shooters, cops who actually carried revolvers on duty, and collectors who knew quality when they saw it. During the big revolver comeback in the 2010s, a mint-condition King Cobra could easily cross the $2,500 mark, and the really rare variations pushed even higher than that. Fast forward to 2025, though, and most used examples are moving between $800 and $1,200, which is a painful 50 to 65% haircut from those glory days. What happened? Well, the revolver world has exploded with lighter alloys, better recoil-taming grips, and frames that actually accept red dots and lights. Stuff the classic King Cobra was never designed for. Shooters today want that perfect mix of old-school soul and new-school tricks, and the big, heavy King Cobra just can't keep up in a flooded used market. The good news is it still shoots like a house-built target gun. The trigger is smoother than most brand-new revolvers, and the hand-fitted craftsmanship is something you rarely see anymore. The bad news? It's bulky, hard to accessorize, and most buyers now see it more as a piece of history than a go-to-carry or duty gun. Next up is the Springfield XDS that dropped in 2012 and wasted no time becoming a concealed carry favorite. It brought rock-solid reliability, super easy controls, and that signature grip safety that gave a lot of people extra confidence without slowing them down one bit. The snappy trigger, soft shooting feel, and skinny profile made it perfect for everyday carry when small and reliable was the name of the game. At the top of its run, a brand new XDS was bringing close to $600, and clean used ones weren't far behind at $500 plus. By 2025, though, you're looking at $350 to $450 on the used market, a solid 25 to 40% slide. And honestly, the gun itself didn't get worse. It's still tough as nails and dead nuts dependable. The problem is the carry world has sprinted forward. Guns like the SIG P365 and Glock 43X now pack way more rounds in the same size envelope, come optics ready from the factory, and feel better in the hand. The XDS, with its single-stack mags and no easy way to mount a dot, just looks old school next to the new hotness. That said, if you like simple, proven, and don't care about the latest bells and whistles, it's still an awesome little fighter. But the resale pool is absolutely packed, and most buyers are chasing the newer, more versatile designs, so the XDS isn't the resale king it used to be. Great buy for someone on a budget who just wants a trusty carry piece. Not so great if you were hoping it would hold top dollar value. And wrapping up our list is the legendary Beretta 92 FS, the pistol that defined military and police sidearms through the 80s and 90s and beyond. This thing earned every bit of its fame with crazy accuracy, one of the smoothest DA/SA triggers you'll ever feel, and durability that lets it eat sand, mud, and neglect, and still run like a sewing machine. The grip fits almost everybody, the balance is perfect, and the recoil is so tame even new shooters fall in love on the first magazine. When it was riding high, a new 92 FS went for about $700, and clean used ones easily pulled $600 or better. Come 2025, used prices have settled into the $400 to $500 neighborhood, meaning a 30 to 45% drop from its peak. Again, the gun didn't suddenly forget how to shoot. It's still one of the most reliable and accurate service pistols ever made. The market just moved on. People want lighter weight, smaller footprints, modular chassis, higher capacity for the size, and slides cut for red dots right out of the box. Think Glock 19, SIG P320, all that good stuff. The big, all-metal Beretta feels chunky and old school by comparison, and it's tough to hang modern lights or optics on it without spending extra cash. On the bright side, it's still an absolute joy to shoot, built like a tank that'll last forever, and carries that iconic movie star cool factor. On the downside, the used market is swimming in surplus and police trade-ins, and the cool kids are all chasing the latest polymer Wonder 9s. If you love the history and the way a real steel frame DA/SA feels, it's still a fantastic gun to own. But if you're looking for something that holds value or has all the newest features baked in, the 92 FS isn't the automatic pick anymore. So there you have it, guys. The firearms market doesn't stand still for anybody. Too many guns hitting the used market, brand new tech like optics-ready slides and modular frames, and buyer tastes changing faster than ever are putting serious pressure even on the all-time classics. Whether it's Oversupply, the Red Dot Revolution, or just the next generation wanting something different, these 15 guns prove values can swing hard and fast. If you're sitting on any of these, you've basically got two paths. Keep them because you love them and they're part of your collection, or think about moving them before the slide goes any further. The game is competitive out there, so staying in the loop really matters. Appreciate you hanging out with me today. Drop a comment and tell me which one of these price drops shocked you the most. Smash that subscribe button and turn on notifications if you want more breakdowns like this. Stay safe at the range, and I'll catch you in the next video.